Hello there guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is more of reflecting on the nature of how cruel human beings can be, to their fellow human being. And I'm talking about the experience that the Nigerian football players that plays in the domestic league are currently facing. Now, but because many people don't watch the Nigerian Professional Football League, they don't understand the level of cruelty that most of these players pass through in the hand of their team, in the hand of their management or board, whatsoever the case may be. At least if you want to show how do we bring politics into every of our team, every of our national life is scary. It's scary. And there has been serious revelations over time about how badly most of our Nigerian players that plays in the domestic league are being exposed to. You understand? But to now be hearing it from a player who happens to be like a legend of Nigerian, Super Eagles, it's crazy. With the exposure that most of these players have outside and coming back to Nigeria to come and play in the domestic league and trying to bring some bring views and make people watch the game, then the kind of humiliations that they were being exposed to over time is not human at all. Let me read this from Ideye. Ideye is one of the players that played under Stephen Keshi that won us the third time AFCON trophy that Nigerian got. It's the most recent AFCON trophy that we have won as a nation. Now, and Brown Ideye happens to be one of those players that gave us those moments that gave us that trophy. Let me read one of his Twitter page where he posted this way. I saw it, and I also saw his podcast with Bet Nigeria. I also saw some of these revelations there. Now, he said maybe because not be your friend or brother did this situation, so you can be typing bullshit. These players deserve the best, but they are living like jobless men. Some of them have wife, kids and family to take care of. Do you even know what it takes to travel from Aba to Kano by road and play a game the next day? That was what he posted, and then amid some of the things that I've read concerning the ill treatment of these players. Now, what he's simply saying here is they are badly treated, and in the video, he made mention of them getting paid 7,000 naira a day to feed. Not morning food, not afternoon, not breakfast, supper, or lunch. No, that's not what he was saying. What he was saying is that for a day, a professional player, a professional player of NPFL who happens to play in Enyimba, gets paid 7,000 naira just to fill for one day. And then maybe let's say they have a match like to play in maybe 3 days time. They have camp here today, they have camp the next day, and probably the day of the match. They paid 7,000 naira, 7,000 naira, 7,000 naira for each of those days. Not like a month, not like they'll be paying it for weeks, no. Whenever they have match. And then they don't get paid their bonus until when the season ends. How much is this bonus? It is between 15,000 to 30,000. In most cases, that 30,000 is not even realistic, or except maybe they play one of the biggest match of the season. That's when they even get their fee up to like 30,000 naira. Now, this is wickedness. And then for the fact that Nigeria is big, most of the states in Nigeria can be as big as a whole country. Traveling from Aba to Kano is like traveling from country to country. They will go and come. That is how they have been living their life. They don't even get to enter a flight to go to the next state to play match. So most of these players cannot even be boast of feeding their family properly. He reiterated that most of his teammates cannot even afford to buy a car. That is wickedness. That is wickedness of the highest order. I'm going to read some of the breakdown of the money that most of these teams make. But I think it's better when investors trying to buy this club than state managing them. State managing them puts them under this political sabotage, political attack, and then stealing their money and their, you know, the bonuses that is due for these players. Most of them didn't even get it. A season is almost a year before they can get their money, their match bonus, get paid, and they have to travel far. That is the reason why most of these things most of the things we complained about, we are not alien to them. We are aware of the bad treatment. We are aware of the favoritism. We are aware of the wickedness that is in the Nigerian Professional League. But for it to still be going on at this level, it's crazy. It's crazy. Most of our players who made it did not make it in the country. They make it from their own sweat of going abroad to play. And then when the spotlight shone on them, they come back to Nigeria now. They are now known as important players. But most of these players who are even better than the people who go outside to play don't even have the spotlight. They don't even get to see the light of the day. So many. Now, when the Enyimba team will now counter what he says, let me read what they now posted on their own Twitter page. They said, we paid, according to trending explained. Now, they said, we paid you 1 million naira salary, lodged you in 5-star 65K hotel, flew you by air for away games, and you repay us by scoring just 5 goals. Enyimba FC reportedly slammed Brown Ideye for publicly demanding unpaid bonus. And the player debunked this to be lie. Even if there's an iota of truth here, how can you say you are paying an hotel of a player of 65 million as a big thing that you have done as a team? They did not debunk that he get paid 7,000 naira a day to feed. 3 square meals, 7,000 naira. They did not debunk it. This is wickedness. This is wickedness. Most of these players cannot even afford to buy car. They don't even get paid their match bonus when the match ends. They get paid at the end of the match. And then do you know that most of the time, because we are aware of the problem of the Nigerian Professional Football League, we don't talk about them again. We shift our attention to watching matches, European matches, the Premier Leagues and the like. So we don't often talk about how bad things get back home. I just want to use today to talk about this thing, at least for once. And I know that of subsequent time we have to talk more about this thing, so that because the moment many people get to talk about it, then we can now be bringing this thing to the global audience, to even the management, to the people who are supposed to be held at high esteem, who are supposed to be held responsible for some of these decisions that have been made on people's lives. So I don't know what to make of this. I don't know. Now, when I look at the record of Enyimba as a whole, their income. Oh, let me post it on the screen so that you can read as I'm reading. $1,450,000 was made by Enyimba in 2 years. 2023 they made $1 million. That is 783 million for participation in the 2023 they made $1 million, 783 million for participation in the now defunct African Football League. 2024-2025, $50,000 was made. That is 81.7 million naira for qualifying for the 2024-2025 CAF Champions League. Now, 2024-2025, $400,000. That's 635.8 million for finishing third in the CAFCC. That is group stage of the CAF Champions League. That was the amount that Enyimba has made. So far, Enyimba has made nothing less than 1.5 billion naira. 1.5 billion naira. And then when you look at this record, this are what most of these teams, even the other European, even other African, clubs in another country, made something of this range. But you don't get to hear some of the wicked stories that we hear in Nigeria. Because when this money is given to the club, the players will be the last people that they will be talking about. They don't talk about most of these players' welfare and everything. Now, when you look at players that like Ahmed Musa doing this, what he's currently doing for Kano Pillars, it looks like miracle, it looks like magic. The only thing that we can do as citizens is to encourage some of these acts. Because now what I just believe will be the solution of this thing is when our ex-players can turn up, or if we can ask for foreign investors, if they can probably look inward and then rescue most of these teams from the states, because most of these teams are being managed by the states. They're being managed by each state. So when the government is not paying attention to the squad, they suffer. They suffer. Most of the teams that are going on relegation are going on relegation because they are not being taken care of. So the player doesn't even have the passion to play for the badge. They don't even know what it means to die for the badge. They don't. And when you see something like this, you begin to imagine the reason why. That's the reason why most of these players just play and then people don't get to know them until they end their career. So it's crazy. I just want us to have a reflection on this, and whosoever is making the decision should do better. You cannot be more wicked. You cannot be more wicked than this. How can you play a player 7,000 naira a day for 3 square meals, and then you are paying the match bonus the end of the season? So the player don't even have anything to say after a match. No bonus, nothing. They go back to their home just like that. We can do better. Please let me have your own reaction, because I know that the podcast went viral and a lot of people say. Let me have your reaction concerning what you think about this issue that was raised, and then how you think that, what's the solution that can probably be mentioned concerning this case. What do you think is happening? Kindly like and subscribe and switch on your notification. But also follow us on our Facebook, our Instagram, and our TikTok account. The full video is posted on YouTube, so kindly click on the link on the bio to watch. Kindly have a very lovely day.